What up, everyone? We've got Smuggler's Bounty from Star Wars. So, obviously we got Boba Fett on the front. I'm assuming he shall make an appearance. Let's take a look at this box, see what we got. If I get my knife in there. There we go. Alright. So I'm assuming right off the bat, we got our little patch and... Oh! What the hell? My pin fell out. My pin's missing from its little bag. I hope it's in there. That blows. There it is. Cool. Alright, we're good. Alright, so luckily for me, the pin didn't fall out of the box, it just fell in the box. Alright, let's get close up on this. So the patch, obviously we got Boba Fett, and then we got a little pin there, whose name I do not remember. Hardcore Star Wars fans will know that character, and I'm sure they'll yell at me in the comments. Because although I am a Star Wars fan, I'm not that much of a Star Wars fan. That's the funny thing about Star Wars fans. Most of them are like hardcore fans where they can name every character, even ones that weren't named in the movie, that were named later on. So yeah, we got that. Alrighty, let's take a look at what else we got in here. So we usually don't get a comic from this box. This is the only Funko box where we don't get a comic. Why? I'm not sure. But we got a shirt in here, and I do like these shirts quality-wise, so that's always cool. So let's take a look at this shirt and see what we got. Alright. So we got a shirt, and it looks like, I'm assuming, are different bounty hunters. From what I can see, we got Bosk, got Boba Fett. So yeah, it looks like different bounty hunters, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and again, some of the lesser known characters from the movie and the franchise. Yeah, I assume that's some bounty hunters or assassins or something like that. So that's cool. I like the style of it. I'm not a big fan of like the yellow color, but you know, that's not a big deal. But that's still really cool. That's good design. So I'll give that like a 7 out of 10. That works. There we go. Alright. And then it looks like we got 2 pop figures. So this box has also been doing that too. They've been pretty common for giving 2 different pop figures. This box is a little damaged though. Dang. So this didn't show up in the best quality, but we got Boba Fett, and this is a cool version of him because he's like got his little rocket pack going in the background if you can see him, and he's kind of lifting it off, so he's got a little stand there. So that's really cool. I like that. It's a good version of Boba Fett. Just a little bummed that the box is in such bad condition. I don't know how it got damaged in there. Man, this box is just not get treated well on the way over here. You know, whatever. Then we got IG-88. So this is going to be an exclusive sculpt because as far as I know, we've never seen this character before in pop form because it's just not as popular of a character, but still cool. And all the Star Wars ones always have that base, so that's cool as well. And they're also always Bobble-Head if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, short and sweet. That was all the items in the box. Not a lot of items, pretty common here. So I'll take a short break and do some research, and then we'll come back and give this box a rating and some value. See you soon. Alright, we are back. Let's talk about some value. The shirt, like I was saying, 7 out of 10. Decent design, decent quality. It'll get the standard $12 to $15 shirt value. Next, our Boba Fett figure. I wish my items came in better condition. It's a little bit unfortunate about that, but you know, whatever. This one's going for about $25 to $27. There are a lot of auctions going for this, so if you have the patience to wait for an auction, I'd recommend that. You could probably get it a lot cheaper than that. But if you wanted to buy it, it's going to go for around that price, which I think is merited because I think it's a really cool figure, different stance. The ones where the guys are always jumping in the air is always like a cool pop figure because there aren't that many of them. Next, this one actually didn't arrive in great condition either. The box is a little dented, which I'm surprised about because I don't know how they would have gotten dented in the box. But just shows a little bit of lackluster quality from Funko. No surprise there. But the IG-88, this goes for about $15. Even though it was an exclusive sculpt, same problem as previous months, it's just not popular enough of a character for people to really seek it out. Like, if you're a major pop collector or a huge Star Wars fan that you just need all the pop figures, then yeah, maybe. But other than that, I can't imagine anyone seeking that out because that character plays such a small part. It's just not that popular. And then the last thing in there was the patch and pin. These go for about $5 or $6 for the pair, and that's pretty common for all the Funko boxes. The pair of them usually go for around $5 or $6, which, you know, isn't that crazy. Now, that brings our value on the low end of 57, on the high end of 63. So although we only got 4 items in here, I mean, I guess it's pretty much what you'd expect. I wish they'd do a little bit more. It's a little bit of a bummer when you get 2 pop figures and then a shirt, and that's pretty much it, because the patch and pin don't really count that much. And I see them running into the exact problem that I saw them running into when I first heard about this box. Like, it came out right when the new movie came out, so there was a big need for it. There was a lot of new characters and stuff like that. But then after the first month, they kind of, or it's almost like they ran out of ideas. So they've been filling it with these like secondary and third characters that just aren't well known, that don't really have names in the movie, that have names but aren't even like, don't speak in the movie, that they're just like random little characters, and that kind of seems like where they're going. I'm sure they'll come up and go down, and they're going to have a movie every year, so I'm sure it'll go through its little cycles, but I'm probably not going to keep this box because I don't think I'm enough of a Star Wars fan to appreciate all this. I like Star Wars, I like the characters, I recognize most of them, but I'm not a hardcore, like, die-hard fan to where I knew really who IG-88 was. I couldn't, if I saw him in the movie, I wouldn't have known the name off the top of my head. I only knew it because it said it there. So that's where, and same with last month, it was the same problem where it was like one popular character and a lot of like characters that I didn't really know of, like stuff I wouldn't really keep, stuff that's not going to sell well because they're not popular enough, so on and so forth. So that all being said, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Everything was exclusive, but Funko, like stuff arrived damaged, and I don't think I'm going to take the time out of my day to go contact them and try to get a replacement. Just not worth my time. So, and the character choices weren't as popular as they could be. So this seems like this box more and more is for the die-hard fans that really know every single character and stuff like that, and that's just not really me. It's a good box, and I think Star Wars fans will always enjoy it, but, you know, whatever. So you got pretty close to double your value on that. But there just wasn't that many items in there, which is, you know, a little unfortunate. Unless I'm missing one, unless they just didn't put one in there, which could be the case, you never know. But that's why I got a little bit of a lower score. Still a decent score, 6.5, but it's just never really impressed me. Even with the original first one, like, it was cool, but just not that amazing. And neither is this one, neither was last month's, or last box, so it's like, they have Marvel and DC. I think I'll be good with those. I think that covers all my ground. If they come up with more in the future, maybe I'll do those too, but probably pass on the Star Wars one. So it's been fun while it's around, but, you know, just not the best one for me. But let me know what you guys thought about it. This has been the Smuggler's Bounty, 6.5 in the box, 7 out of 10 on the shirt. Let me know what y'all think, and we'll see you in the next video. Love you all. Peace.